Bumping and boring has always been a hallmark of saloon car racing. Well, you saw in the first heat, Grant McCleary touched Nick Duval. Well, for that, he has been excluded from the results. He has to start the second heat from the back of the grid. That means that you now have a BMW on pole, a Nissan in second, and the two Opels are on the last row of the grid. That's going to make for some excellent racing with the two Opels coming through to try and take the lead.
We're all set to go. 42 kilometers of racing ahead of us. Let's hope it's as good as the last one, which was one of the finest races we've seen in this short history of standing sat cars. And the light turns to green. Hard cars to get off the line, and they're starting to really go. It's Van der Linde. Then it's Nick Duval. Already Grant McCleary's gone up to 6th position as Briggs also pushes his way past Hannes Strobler. They've got past Mike White, and they've got past Jesse Huggett as they come up to the two left-handers at Nashia, Sean Van der Linde, and then it is Nick Duval. In third spot we've got Dion Joubert, Michael Briggs. So this is going to be a real hunt with those Opels starting from the back of the grid. They're lying in 4th and 5th position at the moment. In the front, Sean Van der Linde, Nick Duval, Dion Joubert. Then we've got Mike Briggs, we've got Grant McCleary. It's then Mike White comes through in the Minolta car ahead of Hannes Strobler, just past him going through the Goodyear sweep, and then we have Jesse Huggett in the junior sat car. We're just watching each other. There's very little between these motor cars. We saw in the practice yesterday, all of them qualified within a second. The championship leader is Michael Briggs. Doesn't like to be beaten as these 5 leading cars start to spread out as they hit the West Bank shelf. Double left-hander as well. Tricky courses this Kyalami. And White has got Grobler right on his tail as they all set down the mine shaft. Right, we'd rather be racing. Swatkopf says some of the fans on that side of the circuit. Right, as they go down to the AA Bowl, it's Van der Linde. Brand new motor cars, you've heard it's the debut of this BMW in the world, and Briggs has gone to 3rd. He's past Joubert, he's not going to like that one, he's coming back at him. McCleary's closing up in Joubert as well. This is going to be a no prisoners taken race, this one. Duval already starting to get a wee bit ragged there on the outside. Mike White also going a bit wildly. They are really trying on this first lap, just letting the adrenaline settle down a wee bit. There's no love lost between any of these teams. This is a manufacturer's race. We've got the BM in front, Nick Duval. Then it's, Sean Van der Linde. Nick Duval is next. Michael Briggs, Dion Joubert, Grant McCleary's just 0.2 of a second behind him, and they're getting away a little bit. 1.7 seconds comes Mike White. Behind them, Hannes Strobler and Jesse Huggett. They're closing up on Joubert. They're really trying. When they start to go onto the dirt, you know these cars are trying. They've got the narrow Dunlop tyres on these leading cars. Briggs has a look-see to see if he can who's in front of Nick Duval. He sees it's Sean Van der Linde, and he's making his battle plans. 1 lap is gone. We've got 9 laps to go. And Van der Linde, unusually going wide there, has lost him a little bit of time. You can't go off the road too often, these cars. They are so low to the ground, trying to get as much aerodynamic advantage as they can. The cars are starting to pull away there from Mike White and Hannes Strobler. Down they go through the Izzes and the Rothmans. They don't waste too much time there. They want to get up to those leading 2 motor cars. Here's Van der Linde, Duval, Briggs, Joubert and McCleary. We've seen these Opel 1-2s at Kyalami before they finish 1-2. It's going to be a lot more difficult today, and the cars are getting more competitive and closer together than we've ever seen them. Field a little bit thin, as we said a little bit earlier in the afternoon. The field is a wee bit thin, but plans have been made now to increase it with the 2 engine jetters. Unfortunately, the Rothmans Audi is also racing here today, and they didn't have the facilities to bring all 4 motor cars up to the circuit. McCleary's starting to attack now onto Joubert, looking for a way to come through. He's riding his tail, he's going for the inside, can't quite do it. As he goes through Gestetner corner, they power onto the Gestetner straights. Grant McCleary's looking for a way through. He's starting to challenge Joubert. He wants to get on Briggs' tail. I think he's got him as he comes through. He's a half a car length ahead as they go down to the total curves, and he's got him. So he's moved up a place now to 4th spot. The order after 2 laps, Sean Van der Linde, 0.7 of a second behind him, Nick Duval. Michael Briggs is 1.2 seconds behind him. Then it's Grant McCleary, 0.9 of a second behind Briggs. Oh, and Joubert's starting to attack there. He seemed to go wide in that corner. We're just giving those results off our monitor. So he's settled back into that 4th position, with Joubert starting to attack once again. Neck and neck as they come into the Goodyear clubhouse section, this corner of circuit. Power along there. Power along that short straight, about 250 meters to the S's, and Jabez started to put on the pressure again. But they need to get up to those leading motor cars. Briggs needs to foot it, and Nick Duval holds the lap record. And he's got to really push on. These tyres tend to go off a wee bit towards the end of the race if those drivers haven't looked after them. They've overdriven the cars, get into too many slides. The tyres get very hot, and they start losing their grip on the road. Very sensitive handling of these motor cars. These are the type that you see in British touring cars as well. And some of the times these drivers are putting up are faster than those put up by Steve Soper when he came out to this country and was testing these cars a little bit earlier. But of course, it wasn't enough. Jabez, still with that 100-kilogram little obelisk on his the side of his door. And if you didn't hear an earlier transmission, the reason for this is that BMW are carrying 100 kilograms more in weight in their motor car than the front-wheel drive car, BMW rear-wheel drive. But has he got any closer? He certainly has. He's 0.6 of a second now. And Briggs is 2 seconds behind. He's got to really pedal along. And McCleary is now 1.2 seconds behind Briggs. And Jabez is 1 second behind him. It's Krobler and White losing out a bit of ground. They're 3 and 4 seconds behind this leading pack of 5 cars. Lots left in this race still. It's 3 laps are gone. Very stiff little motor cars. You can see they lift their wheels so easily. Michael Briggs checking. You can see him looking down at all his instruments there to see temperatures, revs. They've got a little light inside the motor car that tells them when it's time to change. See the Goodyear sweep. And Van der Linde gets it sideways there. It's going to heat up his tyres a wee bit as they all come hurtling through the Goodyear sweep there. They're getting them sideways. These drivers are trying extremely hard. One mistake, just open the door a wee bit and the next man straight through. We started with 8 cars, we've still got 8 cars, and as I say, we've got other plans being made for junior cars or maybe another class to join these ones, and of course we'll be having more cars. There's talk of Farouk Danger bringing a Cavalier in, and that's going to make it very good. And McCleary's getting away now from Dion Jabez, and Duval is closing up on Van der Linde a lot closer. He was 0.6 seconds ahead at the start-finish line. He's now getting onto his tail, trying very hard. Van der Linde, oh, he's locking a wheel as he goes in. He knows the pressure's on. First time that Sean is new to this team. First time he's led a Stanek Satcar race. As they come into sight around that AA Cornwall Celtic sweep, those brakes will be getting rid of. They fill all the area behind those wheels. They have very, very big discs. They can alter their suspension as they drive, or some of these cars can. They can alter the brake pressure to the front and rear brakes. Very sophisticated motor cars. And as you can see, all the roll cage inside are strong as well. Right, so it's now after 4 laps. We've got Sean van der Linde in the Castrol Futron BMW in the front, closely followed by 0.5 of a second. He got 0.1 of a second there to Duval. And then we've got Briggs a little further behind, and he's getting a wee bit ragged. If he even shakes his head and says, "Don't do that again, Nick." Then it's Briggs and McCleary in the 2 Opel Astras. McCleary in the blue one in the PG Autoglass car, right onto Briggs' tail. And they need to get past and give chase. They need to chase after these 2. And while these 2 are hard at it, the others can creep up on them. It tends to slow you down when you're in a heavy dice. You normally go quickest if you're that type of driver. You can get away from the others when you're on your own. McCleary's starting to pull out for the S's, having a look-see. Can't do it this time. With Briggs, he'll be looking for a way past. But they've got to get up to those others. Fastest time in this race so far, 1:48.9 by Grant McCleary, and that equals the old lap record. The new one is now held by Nick Duval at a 1:48.8, so he's just 0.1 of a second outside Nick Duval's lap record. And they've got to get closer to them. The old lap record was 1:49.08. Now they're starting to push each other. They've got to push each other closer. It was 2.7 seconds behind Van der Linde at the line, the start-finish line. But they need to get in, and they're starting to get on a roll now. And the close shots, they come around that AA bowl, revving their motors to 8.5. That's the limiter on these cars. It makes them more reliable as well, but it means that you've got to get a lot of torque and power at fairly low rev by racing motor standards. It's poor on the power. Now it's going to be flat out down through the total S's, and he's a brave driver to go down here flat out. Total confidence in your car. They set it up, throw it sideways as those 2 leading cars. So does Briggs, so does McCleary, and so does Dion Jabez. Here comes Hannes Krobel a little further behind, and Mike White has gone a missing. Oh! and he's out of it. Nick de Waal is just overdone. He's trying to get back in the race. And I think those wheels are going to just be rubbed by the bodywork. That's a very, very heavy off. But Nick, is he trying? He's a very determined driver. No, he's pulling out. Nick de Waal is out of the race, and Michael Briggs has gone to second spot. Van der Linde's up front on his own. It's a very heavy one, as you saw into the Armco there. So the race goes on. So he's out. It's a great pity. Here's Van der Linde coming into sight around total, and Nick has totally lost it. Sideways, and this is where you don't know which way it's going to go. You want to lift. You don't know where to brake. He heads for the Armco, clobbers it on the left-hand side. The Marshal's already running, and he just rubs himself alongside that Armco, trying to get back. He wants back in the race, but that car is terminally damaged, and that's him out of it as Briggs and McCleary go past. So Nick de Waal is out of this race. We are now down to 7 cars in this one as he pulls out. It's Briggs and McCleary now in second, third position after Van der Linde. There's Van der Linde going under the NGK sign. There's the other 2 Opels, and at the flag they were 2.9 seconds. They've got to hurry. They need lap records to get onto Van der Linde's tail. Van der Linde's last lap, I'll just have a look on our screen here, was a 1:49.6, so he's 0.7 of a second slower than the lap record that's just been set up. So these others could do it. We've had 5 laps. We're on lap 6 now, and they are on a roll to catch him. And Jaber's forming the other part of the sandwich just behind. He's in the Johnson Matthey BMW. Beautiful looking motor cars based on the other 318s. Developed for racing here. British touring cars. They're going to go for the Asia Pacific Championship. They're going to go for the Japanese one. In fact, BM is racing these motor cars in 40 countries on 5 continents this year. And this is the first race any of them are having anywhere in the world this afternoon. And our driver's giving a good display as well. There's Jaber. Still holding station, but those Opels have got to get after. It's 2.5 seconds now with 4 laps to go. The heat is on. They are pushing those cars. They'd love them to rev to 9.5 at 10,000, but the limiter says stop at 8.5. There's that car into Jaber. An absolute captivating race to see this. Nick de Waal going off the road when he's pressurizing Sean van der Linde. Maybe just lost concentration, trying too hard through total corner. Past Briggs is looking, having a look, see where he can get through those evenly matched car. The silver car built in England by MSD, and then the replica, the blue one, the PG Autocross car built in the Opel Racing Workshops in Port Elizabeth. Identical motor cars, identical motors. Lots of cheering going up for the fans, or whether it be BMW or whether it be Opel or Nissan around the circuit. The order after 6 laps. We're on lap 7 at the moment. Sean van der Linde leads by 2.5 seconds. Leads by 2.5. McCleary and Briggs are tied together, as you see here now. McCleary trying to get past Briggs, trying to find a way through. Jaber is 4th. He's 4 seconds behind his teammate van der Linde. Then comes Klopler, 4 seconds adrift of him. Mike White is another 6 seconds behind. Jesse Huggett is in there in the junior car. And then it's Nick de Waal, of course. He'd only made those 5 laps before he clobbered the Armco rally. So those 2 Opels are certainly trying. Are they going to be close? It was 2.515 seconds as they go through. Now it is now 2.3. They've got 3 laps to go. They've finished 7 laps. They've got to haul down a lot more time than that. 0.1, 0.2 of a second is not enough. They see him ahead. They've got clear roads ahead, and they want to get after him. Jaber going a bit ragged behind them. So the order now is Van der Linde, 2.3 seconds ahead of Briggs, who's 0.3 seconds ahead of McCleary. Then it's Jaber, he's 1.5 seconds behind. Then it is Grobler, then it is Mike White, and then Jesse Huggett. Well, when the numbers increase, it's going to certainly make this very exciting racing. Another Toyota's due to come from overseas. There'll be 2 Toyotas, there'll be the 2 Jettas. We've got the Cavalier for Farouk. We've got 2 BMWs from the Capellas, the father and son team. And there's talk about this coming. You could mount 14, 16 motor cars, which is not bad for South Africa. And you think that the British touring car actually have 22 motor cars in their racing. That's all there is. You can see the first 4 cars going up Rothmans. It's like a chess game at the moment. Those cars desperately want closer. They've got to try harder. There's going to be a great win there for Sean van der Linde if he pulls this one off. We've got 2.5 laps to go. And they are footing it down that hill as fast as they go. They can do something like 230 k's as they're going through there now. Absolutely flat out. There's Mike White now. Mike White is in 6th spot at the moment. So It's quite a long way behind them at the moment, and these two are hurrying along to get it. Fastest lap so far in this race, Grant McCleary, and he did it a 1:48.9. It's just 0.1 of a second slower than Nick Duval's lap record set up in the first race. But they've got to hurry if they're going to catch Sean van der Linde. It was 2.3 seconds as they crossed the line at the end of lap 7. Here comes lap 8. He comes through, and it is 2.3 the same time. They haven't closed at all as they throw down through total. Along this Gestetner straight, here's Hannes Strobler now. He's just 5 seconds behind them. And there's the Toyota of Mike White, the new sequential box, a lower motor, lower gearbox, and competently driven by Mike White. As we say, there's two new Renaults Toyotas coming for White and Serge Damsey, and they'll be in this country at the next meeting, which is going to be held in Cape Town on the 28th of May. You don't want to miss that one. Stanek Sat cars have provided some very good entertainment. We need them more motor cars, and certainly the plans have been made to do that. Well, here's this other race, trying to get through. There's no team orders in this team. McCleary can get through. He will. Briggs, of course, doesn't want him to get through. He's got to defend his line. He's leading the championship is Briggs. He's lying at the moment 17 points ahead of van der Linde. And Hannes Strobler is third, and Grant McCleary is fourth. Not much between those four. Right, it's very, very late breaking onto the shot. They arrive at Westbank corner so quickly. So we're going back a wee bit there. Maybe just overheating is getting too close. If you try to slipstream, you find your temperature gauges. All this digital stuff they've got in the cars. Very high tech, as I say. Can change their roll bars, they can change their brake pressures, they can have all the information they need to know in the motor car. They can find it on their dashboards. That's a bit of understeer going in. Those tires are being tortured. They are trying so hard. But Jabir can see there's nothing between these motor cars, nothing at all between these motor cars. Across the line, it was 2.3. It is now 1.8, and we're on to the last lap. And I don't think they can do much about it. Van der Linde wouldn't know that he's on his last lap. He'll be told on the wireless, the radio, and the motor car. See those little aerials there? And there's not much they can do about it. He's got nearly a 2-second lead. Jabir is thereabouts. He's just 1.2 seconds behind them. Here he comes. This is going to be a fine win for Sean van der Linde. They forecast a bright future for him in motor racing here and overseas. Because he comes from a motor racing family. His father, Henny van der Linde, of course, was Westbank modified champion 3 times in a row in that famous Skyline, that Nissan Skyline. Is a great tuner of vehicles, as Henny. Whether it be BMWs, Isuzu, Buckies, or Toyotas, or Mercedes, you name it, his father can tune them. In fact, they're using his cylinder heads in these motor cars at the moment. His brother Etienne is in Formula V racing, a very competent karter, going to racing in down at East London. Etienne was something like 4 seconds or more under the lap record set up by the Formula V. So this family is a real racing family. Sean's the elder brother. He's in the front, and he is going to win this race, barring mistakes. He's getting it sideways. He's overjoyed. There's not much. This is how close this all is. As Sean van der Linde comes down the hill, his father, Henny, is going to be over the moon, tunes that head, the cylinder head of that car. Probably his son as well, gets his mind in order. Here comes Sean, the South African driving car champion 2 years ago, 1992. And here he comes down towards, it's 2 corners to go. A very competent drive by young Sean van der Linde, 23 years old, and he's going to pull it off. Very responsible driving. There's Briggs in second spot, and there's nothing between as they come to the line. And as Sean van der Linde was 1.8 seconds, the others are seem to get a lot closer as they come across the line. It's 1.4 seconds ahead. It's Jabir, it's Briggs, it's that's opening the door because it's so hot in the cars. Then it's Grant McCleary, then it's Dion Jabir in the Johnson Matthey BM, and Hannes Strobler following up in 5th spot in the BP Nissan Sentra. Well, a great drive there for Sean van der Linde, a great win for him. So we've had different winners now. The Opels have been dominating. We've got the Nissan winning today with the disqualification of Grant McCleary. We've got the BMW winning. That's the debut for the car. That's the first time this car has won a race anywhere in the world. And well done to Sean van der Linde, Briggs, McCleary, and Dion Jabir for putting on that Stanek Satcar race. As they go into the after-race paddock, they go in there just to have the cars weighed after the races and just swap stories. But some very good racing, as we say, and these cars will be seen again at the Kyalami circuit in Cape Town on the 28th of May. They've got quite a long gap, so we'll have a lot more of these motor cars coming into the race. You can see those doors going open. It gets mighty hot. There's no carpeting or anything in those cars. Mighty hot in those cars with those very heavy temperatures there. But it has been a packed day here at Kyalami in the Heat 2. As you've seen, Sean van der Linde, a world debut win for the 318 BMW. It's Nick de Waal second in Nissan Sentra. Hannes Robler, these are the overall results for the day. And there they are. There's the champagne.